morning, everybody.
Morning.
We are here bright and early at Art Wide Open Studio with...
Morning, everybody.
With Becky Kuiper.
It's early.
And so we're here today to reveal our Chakra Insight number 26 and to share with you our event coming up on Saturday. So Becky's going to help us with that. And also, but before we start with that, we want to talk about our last week's insight, which was possessions.
Yes. So we were talking about it before. We'll get cozy. Talking about our insight this past week before we got started, and came up with the idea that you don't want to be possessed by your possessions. So we want to find that balance, of course, where you feel okay to treat yourself. You don't want to feel guilty. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself, and finding that through joy. So if you go out and you decide you want to purchase something, is it really going to bring you joy a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, or is this just something that inevitably is going to end up weighing you down and possessing you in a way that feels heavy? So finding that balance, of course, just like we try to balance our chakras, we're also trying to find balance in the possessions that we keep in our life. So it's been a fun week of seeing what everyone has enjoyed, all your favorite possessions, and talking about decluttering. If you didn't get a chance, you can take a look at the post about our book recommendation for the week. So it was that Marie Kondo. She's been all over the place. The book came out years ago, but has resurfaced recently as her Netflix special has started up. So the art of tidying up is always a good place to start, and finding whether or not possessions in your life spark joy or if it's time to let them go. Yes.
I received a ton of donations because of the Marie Kondo Netflix.
Oh.
Everybody was bringing all their art supplies that had just stuck in a cabinet somewhere. So if you guys have any of those around, you're more than welcome. I will always never say no to additional art supplies. But I mean, I received probably about 6 different donations of things. People just bringing me stacks of papers and crayons and things that they no longer use. So that's
fantastic.
It worked. As you declutter, I've become cluttered. As you can see on the table behind me.
Well, that's a great insight to that possessions as well, because what we possess that may be weighing us down and that we need to declutter could bring joy to somebody else. So, if you have art supplies, Becky, that brings joy to Becky's life, drop them off here. If you have articles of clothing that you would like to donate, or anything really that you feel that can be passed on and spark joy in somebody else, then maybe find that person and reach out and gift it to them.
And we tend to hold on to things that are, material, because it's like, oh, I spent so much money for that, and and did you ever really love it, or did you just want it because you had to have it? So we tend to hold on to things that are just going to sit in the corner and collect dust and are of absolute no use to us.
Right.
So that's, I think, when we were talking about being possessed by your possessions, it's like the need and the want for more and more and more and more to try to fill that empty void inside of you.
Yes.
If there is one, there may not be one. I don't want to judge, but we tend to try to fill that up with things as opposed to actually working on ourselves to see where it's coming from. And you guys, the magazine article this morning is Miss Oprah. She was also saying, declutter your life. So it might have been from 2014, but it still works today.
Still relevant. And we're surrounded here with some of Becky's favorite possessions, and so she wanted to share one with you, one of her favorites.
Yeah, and actually, I wanted to point out too, this entire wall behind us of frames is one of my greatest treasures of all time, because for my 40th birthday, when I opened this place, I had everybody come and paint a frame. So I did not paint any of these. Rebecca's is up there. And so these, it could never be replicated, and I just think but I have my little Bob Ross. Do you mind to show him? I don't want to squeeze. My little Bob Ross Funko Pop. My brother decided for my birthday that I needed all of them. So he's one of my favorites, but I have like 5 or 6 of them. and they are my absolute favorite little things because they just bring people joy. So
Yes.
He's
and,
fun.
and now people know who he is, so people are like, oh my gosh, is that Bob Ross? It is. He's everywhere in here.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Becky's going to pick our card for today since she's our special guest.
I'm so excited. Maybe Bob should pick it. I'm going to go for the one that's peeking right there. All right. Choice, free will, courage, willpower, and change. How appropriate.
It's a good one after possessions.
So
Yeah.
that's the solar plexus chakra.
It is.
All right. So within every moment is the power to choose. Your choices determine your experience of life. Choose wisely. So the story for the picture on the card is that a lone rider in a misty night tries to find her way through the trees. As she arrives at a fork in the trail, she must make a choice, but the signs are difficult to read. Such is the way we often feel as we arrive to key moments of decision in life, looking this way and that, outside of ourselves to find the highest path, when all along our truest choice is waiting deep within. Her clairsentient partner, the great horse, feels the earth beneath him and already begins moving in the direction of clearest light. This card is an encouragement for you to realize how much power you have through the choices you make. Sometimes we choose certain things because of familiarity or subconscious patterning. Sometimes we feel like life is happening to us, when in truth our life is playing out exactly how we are choosing it to. Choose to make your situation better and more positive, and instantly that higher path will begin choosing you in return. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Choose to let go of the patterns of behavior that hinder your well-being, and you will make room for higher choices to come through. Look at the outcome of your current choices, the energy of your relationships, your job, health, daily routine, the way you spend your time. Which of your current choices support your highest vision for who you want to be and the life you truly came here to live? Which choices do not? Choose a goal that you would like to achieve. Start with a small one if you like. Plan how you will meet this goal, and every day make a choice about how you will stick to it until it comes to fruition. When we remember that we have choice, life becomes an exciting world of opportunities, simply waiting for us to pick which ones we choose to experience. Step out of your comfort zone and try something new. You're holding the reins of your life. Choose who you want to be and how you want to live today, and ride.
When we remember we have a choice.
There you go.
That is a very powerful statement right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the solar plexus chakra is all about our power, ability to make change. And so when we do remember that we have the choice, we do have the ability to make change.
Mm-hmm.
So that is...
The old adage, things can flip on a dime if you change your perspective. You know, if you're so struggling with something and you get lost in the fear and the desire to bring it in so much that we forget that we can choose to just be like, okay, I'm just going to sit back and let it breathe and let it come to me, and then it shows up without any effort. You know, we make life so much harder because of the choices that we don't realize that we have.
Right.
There's always two sides or 15 different choices we can make.
I like that, stepping back to see the choices, because sometimes when we're too close to something, we can't see the choices. It looks like we're forced to be where we are.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes that conscious stepping back to be able to see clearly. Absolutely.
And I think what's interesting is maybe we feel disempowered over our life and having the power to make our own choices, because we are brought into this world. We didn't get to choose who we were born to. We didn't get to choose our race, our religion, all of these, our name. So there's a lot of things that we don't have choice over, at least during, the first adolescence until you're a late teenager, early adult. And then maybe a person starts to think, well, were these my choices? And if I start to question the choices that were made for me, would I make a different decision for myself? And I think when we come to that, we start to realize, well, wait a minute, it's not the choice that I would have made. And so now I'm going to question it and I'm going to look at it. And I think there's a fear-based thinking that if we make a different choice, that means there's something wrong with the choices that were made for us. Well, that's not to say the choices were wrong. It's just not right for us. That doesn't mean it's wrong for anybody else. So I think when we start to realize at a deeper level that no, maybe you didn't have that choice to begin with, but now as an adult you can start to question it and make better choices for yourself, what works for you, what resonates with you, then you start to see that in life you do have choice. You do have the power of your own free will and the willpower to make the choices that best serve your life.
And so very often we tend to label choices, good, bad, indifferent. And somebody told me a story one time, and I'm sure I'll get it wrong, but you know, it the way it is in my brain is I tell myself, is this a good decision, a good choice, a bad choice? Is there a better choice? You know, because sometimes even when we make bad choices that we think are bad choices, they turn around and end up turning into something very magical. So if you can take the labeling away from it and say, I have a choice, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, I still have that choice. And that's such a magical part of human beings. You know, we have cognitive thinking that allows us to sit and breathe for a minute, then stepping back. So I'd say I recommend this week, just try to think about, are you labeling your choices? You know, why? There's good, there's bad, there's hot, there's cold. There's always going to be an opposite. But does it feel good? You know, are you making the choice that you feel is best for you? Not for the family, not for society, not for anything. This is your life to make your choices. Don't hurt anybody. Don't steal a bank, you know. Or
that's truly not what we want to do if we tap in. And also remembering that even if we have made choices in the past or we make a choice in 5 minutes that we don't like, life is always course correcting. It's like our navigational system on our phone. If we make a wrong turn or a turn we don't like, it'll loop us around. Like there's always another way. So even if we made a choice that we don't like in the past, doesn't mean that we're stuck with it and that we made a mistake and that's it. It's always course correcting, so we will be guided when we start paying attention to our own guidance.
Sometimes you have to take the scenic route
Yes.
to get where you're going.
Yes.
Awesome.
So Becky's going to tell us a little bit more about our class that's happening on Saturday. If you want to come hang out with us at this beautiful studio.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's going to be a lot like our vision boards. We're going to be making little mini, and I've got 2 different sizes you guys can choose from. Collage cards, one for each chakra. So we'll have, we'll talk, Rebecca will lead us through, or Shannon will lead us through a wonderful meditation. We'll talk about what the colors mean. We'll talk about what images are associated with certain chakras, and then we get to go through a stack of magazines and rip things apart, which is one of my favorite things to do. I love to rip paper. You know, you can buy a kid the most expensive toy at 2 years old, but if you give them a magazine to rip apart, you will have them busy for 3 hours. So we're going to be a bunch of toddlers on Saturday and rip apart a bunch of things. So we'll go through looking for the colors green and red and yellow and words associated with the cards as well. And all the supplies needed to make the cards are provided. You are welcome to bring anything you want to sip or snack on. I do not have a liquor license, therefore I will not provide alcohol, but you are more than welcome to bring it with you if you choose to. And I believe anybody's welcome. We can fit about 14, 16 people in here, and we'll just have a grand old party time. So
It's going to be fun.
And I think, I don't know if I said it's $25 covers everything. So
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Becky.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So you'll have your very own deck of chakra cards.
Yes.
Yeah, that you create on your own for what images stand out to you. So it'll be very personalized and a meaningful possession for you.
Yes.
I think I'm going to end up probably framing mine and hanging them on the wall somewhere, somewhere here, like there's any wall space left, but and hanging them so I can have like the daily reminder. You know, I mean, you could pull the cards too, and lamination is real easy. A lot of people here in town do that, so that would be fun.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so they last forever. Then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see if my mom has got her lamination machine. We might might make that happen.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, so they can sign up on our Facebook event.
Yeah, and or just go to www.artwideopenstudio.com. Click on the calendar. You should see it. It's got a green heart chakra collage there. It's real super easy to sign up if you want to. Or just call me. I'll put you on a list. Message on Rebecca or Shannon or myself, and we will make it happen. So the more people here, the more fun that we're going to have, because you'll find like, well, I found everything for all this card, but does anybody need da 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 da? And we very much play off each other. So
it's fun to come into community. So definitely love to share on our Facebook event or Facebook page, but would love to see you here at Art Wide Open on Saturday.
Yeah, and we'll share it again later so you can find the link. We might have been a week or so since we shared it. So
Okay.
thank you, ladies, for having me.
Thank
I always
you.
love when they come to visit.
Becky. Yes, it's very fun. And so we will see you throughout the week as we begin to make more conscious choices and pay attention to our own sense of personal power.
Yes.
So,
Thank you. Have a great day.
namaste.
Love y'all.